Right, we start here this evening. Negotiations have been taking place behind the scenes with less than a week to go before parliamentarians vote on the budget. Two of the biggest parties in the Government of National Unity, the DA and ANC, are at odds over a proposed 0.5 percentage point hike in VAT. Newzroom Afrika's Ziyanda Ngcobo has more.
We are talking to everyone about the budget. So everyone who is represented in Parliament will be interacting and engaging on the budget issue. So it's as simple as all that. We're not only talking to one party.
This was President Cyril Ramaphosa just last Monday confirming that they're courting parties outside of the Government of National Unity in order to be able to pass the budget in Parliament next week. This includes flirting with the EFF, Action SA and Ngcobo party. But with time running out and no consensus in sight between the ANC and DA, it doesn't look like the organizations outside of the GNU are convinced enough to save Luthuli House from its quagmire.
We can't get past from an Action SA standpoint is firstly that the South African government wants to reach deeper into the pockets of ordinary South Africans at a time in which this budget does absolutely nothing to curtail the incredible wastages and inefficiencies of the most bloated cabinet in the history of our country. But also we can't get past the mental block that we are an opposition party being asked by a government that is made up of 70% of the South African people to help them approve a budget with an unpopular tax increase when they themselves should be sitting down and sorting things out. And that is why what we have said to the ANC is get your budget approved by your partners and not by the opposition. And if you can't do that, reconstitute a new government that can.
On the same end, the Ngcobo party says the ANC has not formally approached it for a bilateral discussion, except for some hints through the Chief Whips Forum in Parliament.
We were never going to even entertain an idea of discussing whether we must permit the increase of VAT as part of the budgeting options. There are several alternatives which our public representatives have presented, which should constitute the alternate to increasing the value-added tax in South Africa's budgeting framework. And I think that before the ANC approaches Ngcobo, they should have made a public announcement already that there's not going to be any VAT increase. That is the only way. The only mandate which our members of Parliament have in relation to the current budget is to reject it.
But the ANC's Chief Whip in Parliament, Ntuli, has confirmed that there will be a second round of meetings in the coming weekend in a final push to find unanimity over how the public purse should be managed. The party has calculated that with Build 1 South Africa's 2 seats and Action SA's 6 seats, they will have enough support to pass the budget without the EFF, MK Party and the Democratic Alliance. The ANC's national executive is also meeting over the weekend, where a status update is also expected to be tabled. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ziyanda Ngcobo in Johannesburg.